Continuing on chapter 32, the heart of the Tanya, as we are identifying more with the godly soul and disidentifying with the animal soul, the body. Your body, which separates you from others, right? We're saying the body inherently creates a sense of competition because repulsive and disgraceful to you. You'll appreciate more the value of the divine soul, which unites us all. Meaning, the less I'm identified with my physicality, the more identified as the divine spark within, the easier it's going to be. This is a straightforward way to connecting with another person on a soul level. So here's a possible roadblock. What if someone's physical orientation is so strong that I can't connect with their inner dimension, their soul? I just can't see their soul. Like, this person just seems so coarse, so the ego seems so thick. What if I can't find the soul in there? Or what if their soul's inferior to mine, right? So I'm connecting them on a soul level, but my soul's holier than yours, right? So what's going to happen? How is this going to be the straightforward path? So Tanya is answering us by telling us this. Even if someone appears to be lower than you spiritually speaking, here's his advice. As for the soul and spirit, who knows their greatness and worth? How could I possibly know someone's soul root? Okay, the way they're represented down here, I might not see it. But spiritually, I have no idea the greatness of their soul. You ought to humble yourself before this person. Perhaps his or her soul is greater than yours. So what we're talking about, we say greater than souls, okay? So we're talking about soul levels, meaning, kabbalistically speaking, all the Jewish people, our souls comprise the body of Adam HaRishon, the spiritual body. And so you might be from the elbow, and this person's from the knee. So like, at least I'm an elbow and you're a knee, meaning like in that cosmic body. Or someone's the head and I'm the heel. So there is a differentiation. Ultimately, what we're going to say is that in essence, we're all completely one. So even if spiritually speaking, I feel superior to someone, that's not a reason to not connect with them on the soul level. For how am I to know the level of their soul? Like we said in the previous chapter, we were appreciating how I can never know someone's inner work. I can never know the inner work of their animal, so I can never really know someone's nature, so I have to judge them favorably. Here's saying I can never know the essence of their soul root in the one God, and therefore I have to humble myself before every person. For how do I know their soul root and that it's not so much greater than mine? I think about this all the time. Like, when I go to teach someone something, for all I know, the next moment they're going to take it and master it 1,000,000 times more than I could and be teaching it back to me. Who said I'm greater just because I'm the one explaining it at first? So what they're going to do with that information, integrate it, it could a minute later be completely beyond me. Who are we to say that we know someone's soul root? We're saying we can't. This is beyond our capability. And ultimately, beyond the soul root and the levels and the layers of where you're sourced in the higher worlds, beyond all of your spiritual source, at the level of essence, all souls are equal, being that all of them are alike and they all have the same Father. In our essence of essence, we all are sourced in the living God. We all have the same soul root. So it's kind of like the way I could be snobby in a physical sense. So I have a PhD and you don't. Just kidding. I don't. Maybe in life. I don't know. Okay, but I could be snobby in the physical sense, I have more money than you, I have my PhD and you don't, I have this and you don't. I could be snobby in the spiritual sense of well, I have a higher soul root than you, okay? The Alter was cut it, okay? At the essence, we're all equal. Get to that place where we're all alike. Get to the place where we have one Father. Get to the essence, and that is where we can really connect. And that's why all Israel are called brothers, okay? We're called Achim, literally due to the single source of their souls in the one God. Okay, so I don't want to give anyone the impression that we don't care about each other's bodies and we don't want to connect on a body level, we only want to connect on a soul level. Of course we want to connect on a body level. But if I'm not connecting to you because your ego, your personality, or my ego and my personality, we are not jiving, so I need to go higher. I need to go deeper. I need to go inner and connect to the place where we're one. And from that place of unity, I could be your friend and I can like you and I can appreciate you and even connect on a personality level. So we're not saying, of course, think about what we do as Jews. We love feeding each other. Of course, we care about each other's bodies. There's 1,000,000 organizations dedicated to helping each other with physical needs, from Hatzalah, from emergency, to gamaks for clothing, to gamaks for wedding dresses and wigs and emotional support and therapy gamaks, and gamak means gemal chasadim, organizations that are just there to help people, everything, okay? Of course we care about each other physically, but if there's a roadblock, if I can't care about you physically because my ego and your ego are not jiving right now, our personalities are at odds, I need to go deeper into the source, and then I can really appreciate your body, I can really appreciate your personality, I can appreciate you as a human, but first I need to appreciate you as a soul. Those who make their bodies primary and their souls secondary, it's impossible for them to have genuine love and brotherhood among them, but only in conditional love. So, meaning, let's say I really do love you fully, right? I love you fully, and I can put my body first and my soul second. But another person who my personality doesn't work with, I can't love them fully because my orientation is the body orientation. So I'm not seeing them as a soul, and therefore there's a disconnect. So yeah, we could get away with it, but ultimately it's a conditional love. If I'm loving someone just based on something, based on their personality, maybe they're really holy and I like that about them. Yeah, but that's still a conditional thing, and therefore that love is not going to last. So if it's like the love of like, well, I play soccer and you play soccer, so like, yes, I love you. But if you stop playing soccer, so then my reason to love you goes away, and so does my love. I had a very close friend, and like we were both like, my love for her was based on how like spiritual I saw that she was, and she inspired me that way. And one day she told me that she stopped being Shomer Nagia. She was no longer keeping the mitzvah of Nagia with the boy she was dating. And I went through a tailspin. I was like, wait, whoa. How can I still love her? How can I still be her friend? When my love for her was based on how holy she was, and I had to dig deep and find a deeper way of loving her as a soul, and just loving her as who she was beyond my expectations of her and beyond my conditions of her. And ultimately our love is so much deeper between us because I had to go to a place of just loving her, not loving the things about her. Okay, so any condition, whether it's a holy condition or a condition of how they treat us or a condition of, you know, a certain image they represent, all of that, it's conditional, right? It's like, can I love you at your worst? Well, if I'm judging you based on your body, if I'm identifying as a body, then I can't love you at your worst because you're hurting my ego. But if I'm not identifying as a body, as the ego, I'm identifying as this spark of divinity, I'm really in touch with my essence, then I can love you at your essence. And when I can love you at your essence, I can also love your personality, right? That's how it goes. Can I love you at your worst? If not, that's on me. It's on me to find a deeper love for you, not on the other person to change. I mean, not necessarily, of course, you know, everything's a dance, but my work starts with me. Let me work on loving you versus just quick change, you know? And it's beautiful work. It's beautiful inner work, getting to that place of like, I want to love you as you and not make you just suddenly change because you're hurting my ego, but really get past that condition and see myself as that soul, and therefore be able to see you as a soul, and therefore we can connect, and without anything even actually having to change in that exact minute. I can love you as you are when I see you as you really are, when I see you as your essence. And this reminds me of the idea of personalities don't love, they want. So, meaning, when I'm still in the state of the body, the people I'm connected to is because they make me feel a certain ways, because they give me something. And even if they're giving me something holy, still, right? They're giving me nachas, they're giving me pride. I'm not really loving, I'm taking. So sometimes it's when people in our life, their personalities, the physical orientation of them, that ego, that body, it's not pleasing to me. That's when I'm actually challenged to really start loving them, because now I need to love them as them, not as my image of them, not as my ego wants them to be. And that means letting go of my ego, letting go of my bodily orientation, and connecting with my essence. And there I can connect with that person on their essence, and I can start really being a giver with my love instead of a taker.